made a fool of myself again. And one of you saved me. It could have been any one of you. Well, almost any one of you. I'm a cautionary tale. I know that. The morphine, the whiskey, it's pretty pathetic, really. I don't pity myself. I hate myself, good and proper, but I don't pity myself. Maybe I do. I don't really know anymore. I had a family once. Sometimes I wish back when I saved Dutch. Rather than saving me back, he'd done the proper thing and put a bullet in my head. Excuse me.
How you gentlemen keeping? Sorry for interrupting, but I can't stand much longer over there. I mean, I love the girls, but my lord, they complain a lot. I mean, I've known worse than this. I was born into worse than this. Most of us grew up hungry and scared and alone, one way or another. And here, we've usually got food, and we usually ain't scared. I mean, sometimes. And we ain't never alone. Not here. Quite the opposite. So I'm done with the whining. I know we had a scene in the mountains, but we're over that. It's time to cheer up. All of you.
All right.
That was quite a speech.
Just feel like it's time they all buck back up now.
I agree.
How you boys doing? Mind if I stand a while? My lord. But mark my words, one of these days, Karen will slit old Grimshaw's throat. We all hate her. But Mary Beth is sort of peaceful, and Abigail, she doesn't have time for that kind of nonsense. And I don't care enough, and Miss Adler, well, she may slit any one of our throats, come to think of it. But Karen hates her more than anyone, and she hates Karen. And Karen ain't one to hate unwisely. I've seen her cut men up more than once. If Grimshaw goes missing, I'll give you 20 to 1. Karen did it. Only she won't slit her throat. She'll cut her throat clean out and drink her blood. Mark my words, boys. You know something? Them boys kidnapped me and was gonna do God alone knows what to me. But I'm imagining it ended with me dead in a ditch someplace. And it made me realize something. It made me realize we got it pretty good here. And you boys is decent. And I wanted to say thank you. Seriously, all of you. Well, most of you. I'm getting all soppy. Even Grimshaw ain't so bad. But don't tell her I said it or I'll kill all of you. Enjoy your night, fellas. Hey.
Hey, Arthur.
Grimshaw does always look out for you.
I know. She just has a funny way of showing it sometimes.
Sure.
So how about you, Mr. Trelawney? Where are you from?
The moons of Jupiter, dear boy. The moons of Jupiter.
Oh, shut up, shut up. Now, that kind of nonsense might amuse folk at a children's birthday party. But really. I'm saying Irish.
No,
Scots?
Cornwall, dear boy. Where the real, original Celts are from. Where they still have trolls, just like you, that live under the bridges. Where fire spews out of the marshes.
What's it like there?
I have no idea. I've never been, but it sounds wonderful.
Well, I'm from Ohio, and I have been there. And it could use more trolls.
So I've heard. So I've heard.
Gentlemen, why the long faces? What's wrong with all you? Goddamn whiners. Complainers. Worse than that. Complainers who don't even say nothing, just complain with your eyes and sour mouths. Where I come from, we got a word for you lots. Wise. That's what you become. Wise. Oh, yeah, that's how it seems to me. Big, tough men, robbers, hoodlums, proud degenerates, turned into a bunch of moaning women at the side of some lawman in a little snow. I ain't never seen anything so disgusting in my whole time. I met a lot of women, but you boys just about turned into the most womanly of all of them. And that's the truth.
Every time, Uncle.
Now, let me tell you boys a story. And when old Uncle was just a little boy, back when they called me nephew, I guess, not Uncle. Now, my real uncle, Uncle Jeb, my mother's brother's cousin, he was kind of funny. One of those men you didn't want to be left alone with on account of him doing, well, you know what I mean. Not right with young men. Anyways, he wanted to take me fishing. Now, I didn't want to go, because if there's one place men act funny, it's around fish. Oh, anyways, he tried to take me. All week long, he's telling me to come, and in the end, I sent my brother's friend, Ned, instead. Go. I never liked Ned much either. I figured, well, they could do the damnedest to each other. Turns out they did. Only weren't Jeb drowning Ned like I reckon, but Ned, he went and, well, stabbed Jeb right in the moneymaker. Turned him into Aunt Jemima. No word of lie.
Hey there. I ain't sure I understood a word of that.
Oh, I'm lost on you fools.
Well, you're lost, that's for sure.
Man, bunch of sour faces. Cheer up, the lot of you. None of them women got the clap. None of you got lynched yet. Ain't none of you got married neither. Way I see it, ain't no good in worrying about what may be. Worry about what you got and ain't got, and none of you got nothing to worry about. Just like my daddy told me. He said, son, don't worry about the future. Worry about today. And I said, what do you mean, Pa? He said, well, you're gonna get a beating so hard you'll be lucky to even see tomorrow. He was right. Damn nearly killed me, but it taught me not to watch women in the outhouse and get caught. It also taught me not to worry about nothing other than that which is gonna happen.
Hey,
That's deep, Uncle.
I speak only the truth.
Well, that's one lie right there.
You know, boys, there ain't no being saved. Ain't no being lost. Them fights was over long ago. Or never happened, was only invented to make you feel something out of nothing. Makes no difference. Ain't sure nothing makes a difference. Can't see how. Tide comes in, tide goes out. You was born, you die. In between, you do what you do. Ain't no good, ain't no bad, just things that make you feel good or make you feel sad, and just the length of time between being born and dying. That's all there is. Ain't no old man judging man. Ain't no heaven. And maybe there is damnation. But I think I know what that'll be like. And I'm gonna be right at home there. That's it. See it for what the hell it is. Look at you fools sitting there waiting. Waiting on old Dutch to save your bacon once again. I've seen more inspiring corpses than you lot. Life is for the living. And if you don't want to live, let someone else have the privilege and get out the way. You're pathetic. Every last one of you. Aside from Dutch, and the only thing pathetic about him is the fact that he associates with you fools. Must make him feel good. Taking care of the simple-minded, the desperate, and the needy. Well, my daddy said, sympathy is for the weak. You get what you deserve, you gotta kill to eat. That's what this country is. Every man equal, every man for himself. But you lot ain't got no real fight in you. Old Dutch has made a fool of himself trying to save you, and that's the truth. Well, this is fun, ain't it? On the run with a bunch of women. All our money lost back in Blackwater. Old Dutch knows where the money is, just him and Hosea, same as usual. Well, I love Dutchy, but I ain't sure how fair it is. That's all our money. We all deserve a chance to go out and get it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Now, I know you folks is loyal to the point of constipation, but this is real. That money is our only hope, And it's locked up there, good and proper, and only Hosea and Dutch know. That ain't fair. And it ain't doing anyone any good. Stay away.
You are obsessed with that money.
It's mine as much as theirs. I should know where it's hidden.
No, you shouldn't.
Mind if I sit a minute? Oh! Oh, my lord above. I am not made for land. It's too many angles. Yeah, me? I like a flat horizon. Wide and clear, little waves taking me south to paradise. Not a vicious blizzard, thick mud, railways, filthy towns, and any other hells we've encountered. Black water! Never was a place truer named, huh? Huh? I like blue water. Mm-hmm. Black water, you can keep that. Blue water, fire water, salt water. Black water's for fools. Yep. It's just unnatural. All this land. Ain't natural at all. I need to sit a minute. Oh, I'm tired. Real tired. All this walking, all this standing. It's not for me. I'm designed to float. Not for all this land. It's too much of it. It's just too much of it. No wonder your whole lot went crazy. You gotta head out to the sea. Even old Dutchie, it'd be good for him. Did you know the Dutch were seafaring folk? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When I laid eyes on him the first time, I loved him. He was so charismatic. But I still told myself, I said, Pearson, that man needs some sea air. All that brooding, harumph. It's looking at all this damn grass and sky all the time. We are meant to swim, not ride around on donkeys. It's ridiculous. You know, when I was in the Navy, men could fight until they were 100. Now look at us. All sick and weak and pathetic. Every one of us. Every bloody one of us.
I think we're gonna need more than sea air, Mr. Pearson.
You'd be surprised. It works wonders.
Not against Pinkertons.
You know, when I was a boy, I used to wonder what it'd be like to have a family. My mama died when she had me, and my daddy was gone by the time I was 8. I was on my own after that. I was 11, first time I shot a man. His fault, but then we all think that all the time. I thought God himself would come down and take vengeance on me for what I'd done, but that ain't happened yet. Sometimes I wish it would. Well, I guess we'll be all right. We got Dutch. If there's anyone I reckon could convince good old St. Peter he got it wrong, it's Dutch. Aw. We weren't that bad. Come on. Let us in. Let us in. Let us in so we can rob you blind, just like every other unfortunate along the way. How you boys keeping? My lord. Been quite a ride since Blackwater. Since that thing on the boat. You boys know all about that. At least, you know enough. Still trying to forget. Got my wings clipped there, then nearly got eaten by a pack of wolves.
You just hanging around,
Maybe
Arthur?
I should learn my lesson. And just hope Dutch has learned his. I love Dutch. Y'all know that. But we're bad men. We're fighters, I know. But sometimes I start thinking about that girl. Well, Javier knows what we saw, and it weren't pretty. Ask Micah. Although he encouraged it, weren't pretty at all. I just hope Dutch was right when he said that we had to do it to survive. Sometimes you just gotta do really bad things, I guess.
Hello?
Remember the old days? When we used to go around giving away the money we'd robbed?
Yeah. Guess that just kind of stopped at some point.
Sure did.
How we all doing? Man, we are in some shit now, ain't we? Even before Blackwater, I had my doubts, but since then, we've had folk drop like flies. Men I've ridden with for years, just dead. Gone. Women and children, too. This ain't nothing nice. Whole thing used to make some kind of sense, but now feels like we're waiting on a miracle or waiting to die, and I can't tell which it is. I mean, we've always had problems, but never like this. Them folks in Blackwater, it was real mad, and we responded like animals. Like cornered animals. And all of a sudden, things don't make much sense no more. We have become what we set out to hate. And it scares me. It does.
You can't keep reliving that day in Blackwater.
It's hard not to.
We all gotta start moving on.
I wanted to thank all you boys for taking me in, for not killing me. Let me tell you, old Colm O'Driscoll, he's a rotten fella.
Not you as well. It's not Colm. Colm. It's Column. In Ireland, we say column.
Well, he likes Colm. He's American.
Oh, he's Irish. Just look at his name. Just a dumb Irish bastard who can't pronounce his own name.
If you say so.
I do say so. Colm O'Driscoll. Say it now.
He likes Colm.
And you like breeding. So say Colum properly.
Colm.
That's better, boy. That's better.
Hi.
Hey there.
All right? Colum? What are you talking about?
Don't you start too. That's how you say it.
Well, I'll be sure to tell him that.
So, what's your story, boy?
Horses.
Horses. How do you mean, horses?
Or, I used to work with horses when I was a little boy. My pa came over from Ireland. He got sick and died. My ma got sick and died. It was cholera. After that, I was all alone, and the stables where I worked threw me out. I was living in the West.
Hey, look out,
we
Javier.
traveled out there because Pa thought he could become a farmer. In California. We've never made it to California. I joined the Army, but that didn't work out well. Then I fell in with some outlaws. They got killed, and I fell in with the O'Driscolls. They gave me a choice. ride with them or die. So, wasn't much of a choice. Now, I'm in with you, and all I know is folks all seem to die. And I still love horses.
You'll always have the horses, Kieran.
I know where I am with them.
Well, go do some work then.
So, what's he like, this Colm? Or Colm? Or whatever he calls himself, anyway.
Honestly?
Yeah, honestly.
He's, when he talks to you, nicely, it's like the sun is shining. And when he's mad at you, it's like the devil's gonna be upon you. That's how I'd put it. He changes. He's happy and you're happy. He's mad and you're upset and you don't know why. He's unfair and unkind. As long as it isn't directed at you, you don't care. He turns his men into monsters. Somehow he makes them love only him. He scares me. I mean, you boys scare me, but you're still like human beings. He's it's hard to explain.
Well, he sounds like a right idiot, if you ask me. Real pleased with himself.
He scares me.
Yeah, well, he don't scare me. Silly fool you are.
I know.
I thought you barely knew Colm.
Well, yes, but I heard plenty.
Is that right?
You know, my mama was born in a field. Literally, in a field. Her mama was picking cotton, didn't even know she was pregnant. Came over funny and she gave birth right in the field. And the goddamn overseer, he took my mama away and made my grandmama get up and finish picking. Overseer was sweet on her and used to rape her. After she was set free at the end of the war, he tried it again, and she killed him with a knife. They nearly lynched her, but she ran away, and my mama never saw her again.
Shit. We all think we had it hard.
I wasn't saying it so you feel sorry for me or nothing.
I know.
Ah, Mr. Peterson.
You know, when I was younger, I'd try and rob anyone, anything. If it weren't nailed down, I'd take it. If you had anything, I'd try and take it from you.
I don't understand that lawman get-up.
I know now, I seem like a sweet old man. But as a young man, I was worse than any of you fools. Total and absolute degenerate. A liar, thief, a killer, when necessary. Then I met two people who changed my life. My dear wife, Bessie, and good old Dutch. And for 20 years now, life has made sense. It isn't my fault, all the unkindness and misery, and I can't stop it, I can't change it, but I can improve things just a bit. That's a lesson I learned from each of them. And what I try to teach you fools, life can be better We aren't perfect, but we can protect the people we love. Dutch caught me trying to steal food from him. I thought he was gonna kill me. But we looked at each other and we saw something. We've been best friends ever since. He's crazy and I'm a fool, but I trust him because he's true. No lying in him. And when somebody doesn't lie in this world and you don't lie to them, then together you can achieve great things. And destroy great powers. Ignore everything else I said, but remember that.
Well, I think we're gonna be okay. In the end.
I hope so.
We made it this far.
I ever tell you about the time I went on the stage?
Is this like the time you joined the cavalry?
No, this is a true story.
Really true or mostly true?
Really true. Gospel truth, solid oak truth. I always loved drama. And I always had a comedy routine, falling over, getting punched, that sort of thing. Used to play it in the theaters and on the street, all up and down the big rivers back when I was a young man.
Oh, well, I was always into running women.
That's because you're a lowlife, whereas I had aspirations.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I was a comedian, but I wanted to do something serious. Drama. Tried reading some of it, but I didn't understand more than 2 words of it. I just wanted to be in one of them. I don't know why now. Till one day, I snuck onto the stage.
Turner it was. The Revenger's Tragedy. Bunch of Italians stabbing each other. And I stabbed someone.
Really stabbed them?
No, I wasn't quite that dumb. But then I had a line to say, and I completely forgot it and got booed off. Oh, the shame of it. And that was the end of my dramatic career.
I should have been an actor. I'm a natural. But the lore of Africa was too great for me. Did I ever tell you about Timbuktu?
Many times, my friend, many times. And I don't believe any of it. It's getting kind of late. I gotta get some sleep.
Well, be well.
Did I ever tell you boys about the time I was hanged?
Oh, I think so. Tell us again.
Sure. So I got caught doing something or other. I was just a kid, 17, 18, long before I met Dutch. I was newly an orphan. Anyway, I got caught by some hill country sheriff stealing a chicken, I think it was, and he decided I was going to be hanged for it.
For a chicken?
Yes. Only some folks thought it was unfair. And at the hanging, there was a riot. They went to lynch me. But someone I never saw, he shot the rope clean through. Instead, they hanged the sheriff. And I got away with nothing more than a sore neck.
Well, was you scared?
Absolutely petrified.
Well, fair enough. How you been keeping, Hosea?
Good. But nearly got myself lynched a couple of days ago.
How?
I had been watching this house in town. Rich family lives there. I became convinced, as you do, that the place was full of loot.
Of course. I know the feeling.
It starts to call you that thing in your stomach. Take me. Rob me. I want to be in your pocket. Silver, gold, all the good things in existence.
Exactly.
So, I'm watching the house for a few hours, and it's as quiet as a grave. I become convinced it's empty. I ask around, people ain't been seen. So, for some reason, I must be getting sloppy. I just walk right in. Right into a wake for their dead Uncle McCarby.
No.
Oh, yes.
Oh, what'd you do?
I froze. Then I saw his name, and I became McCarby's best friend they never knew about. Somehow I winged it, and let them lead me into being McCarby's former gold prospecting friend from back in '76. By the end of the evening, we were laughing together and crying. It was very sad. He was a lovely man, old McCarby.
But you still robbed them, huh?
You heartless bastard. Of course I didn't. I robbed the priest, but not the family.
That's okay, then.
You're a pair of old fools. Master at work?
Old habits die hard.
Just so long as you ain't making me dress up like an idiot.
You know, when I was a little boy, some men came to my village. They accused 5 men of spreading rebellion and heresy. They took them into the streets, stripped them naked, castrated them, and fed them to the pigs while the rest of the village was forced to watch. One of those men was my uncle. Another was a friend of my parents. And you know what those men had done? They had suggested that the men of the village demand a fair wage from the local landowner. That Not that he share all that he had, just that he give enough that the people might live. Of course, Mexico could be a land of plenty. But the people with the power there? They rather kill than share the smallest little piece. All my life, I think about this. Most people are thieves. Because they steal the lives and the hopes of others. Arthur?
You think you'll ever go back to Mexico?
For now, I can't. You think we're wanted here? I'll be shot on sight if I go back there.
Maybe one day.
Hello. Gentlemen. A beautiful night. Beautiful night. I'm not much of a storyteller, so forgive me, but I really... I don't have much to say. Life's always confused me. I don't feel I understand it very much. Other human beings seem to understand why they were born, but for me, it seems like I was born to hurt and suffer myself. That doesn't always seem like a really good reason. I wish there was another way. But here in this land, I feel very stuck. But, I'm sorry to complain. This is just so.
Hey there, Arthur.
Listen, Charles. You're about the best man I know.
Yep.
Let me see some more smiling, boys. Come on. Life is actually pretty good. 100 years ago, we'd have been indentured men. My people were peasants, starving in a field someplace. My mamas were in Lincolnshire. My daddies were outside of Rotterdam. At least that's what they told me. The modern world is ugly. But the old world was worse. Our job is to make a better world for ourselves. Not go backward, but go forward with hope and dreams. Seriously. And that hope begins now by being hopeful and happy. So cheer up, all of you, cheer up.
You okay?
Yeah, just fed up with all the pessimism around here.
I hear you.
See? What I tell you? Listen. Next time, listen. Faith. Hi there. Faith is all that matters. We had faith, and we made it. We are gonna make it. We have a plan. My friends. My loved ones. A plan. It is a real plan. We are gonna leave this place, and we are gonna find our own paradise. Our own heaven. Tahiti. Fiji. Australia. The real world. Not this godforsaken dump that all of Europe's detritus has acted out its vengeance on. We are gonna be free. Free.
Yes, we are, Dutch! That's right, boss. Too right, Dutch. You're pretty fired up there.
We are going to do this, Arthur. It ain't just talk.
I believe you.
How are you boys keeping? Listen, I know, well, things is kind of tough. But we have had it tough before. We're being tested. But we are going to overcome these challenges. Now, Blackwater, it weren't nothing nice. I know that. But we have to push on. Even though we walk through hell, well, we walk together. We walk together. Remember that? All of you, remember that.
you boys keeping? Good. Them scars still pretty raw.
New ones or the old ones?
Exactly.
Oh, Marston. You are so tough with them scars. How'd you get them scars, John? Being tough.
I ain't tough. I'm either stupid or slow. I cannot decide which. Either way, I keep getting caught.
We all get caught eventually, John. I guess the trick is to decide by who.
What do you mean?
Seems like you've been getting caught by a few things. Not just wolves and knives.
Ain't nothing ever caught me Dutch didn't want to eat me.
Well, exactly. I think that's the point.
Listen, I didn't get these scars falling over in church.
Not yet, you didn't.
Just what do you mean, Dutch?
I guess I should be going to bed. Don't you be an arrogant son of a bitch, John. You're better than that. Love gets us all in the end. You be grateful it got you.
Man talks drivel sometimes.
I guess. I wish I had a scar.
I ain't as young as I used to be. Been a tough couple of months. Been a tough couple of years. Since I got sick. It's all been tough, you know. We're born with some dreams. We acquire others as we get older, and then we live out something else. When I was younger, I wanted to be a priest. I did, a priest. Didn't know you had to be a Catholic to be a priest. I guess I was always looking for a Messiah. Funny what you find in this life.
Hello?
When I was a kid back east, they said there were dragons in the West. Dragons. Well, I guess we found them. Found them, or made them, or became them. Oh, these futile lives of petty sin we have lived. What choice did we have, really? Streets weren't paved with gold. There was poverty in Europe, there was poverty here. Only here, you could stick a gun to someone's head. Take what you want. That was the only difference.
Sir.
I can see you as a priest, Jose.
A priest con man, maybe.
Right.
Gentlemen, mind if I warm myself a minute? I'm getting too old for this. Living in tents, on the run. By my age, I thought I'd be living on some farm somewhere, having some servant girl feed me freshly peeled grapes and another massage on my feet. Funny how things turn out. Said I'm stuck in the wilderness with you degenerates trying to stay warm. Still, guess all that luxury run me to fat, and there ain't no getting fat out here. Now my old hag Greenshaw eats triple rations. Enjoy yourselves. I gotta get on. How you boys keeping?
Hey.
Listen to me. If I can give you any piece of advice, any at all, don't become a mother. Ain't worth it. Worst job in all creation.
You feed the boy, raise the boy, do any damn thing you could to protect the boy, all the time. Does the little apple of his mother's eye so much as consider the words thank you? Or express anything other than utter horror at her who birthed him? Rudeness I think I could take. It's the pity and disgust I struggle with. Breaks my heart every time it does. So don't none of you boys become mothers. It ain't worth the hassle. Believe me when I tell you that, it ain't worth it.
Nice fire. You know, back when I was in the Army, and we was out on patrol, we couldn't light no fires. You see, our captain had a theory. He said a lit fire would just bring the engines on us that much quicker. But the only problem was, no fire brought the wolves on us. Yes, sir. So there we were at night, either cold and frightened of the wolves or warm and frightened of the Indians. And I could never figure out what frightened me more. All right. I know what you boys are thinking, but I don't frighten that easy. You know what? Why don't you try yourselves a couple night out on that prairie, surrounded by savages trying to eat you alive, and we'll see who the real man is. That's all I'm saying. You can't blame a man for his honesty. Damn Indians. The horse. You mind if I sit? You know, when I first met Dutch, when I first met many of you, I had just left the Army. And it wasn't on a case of no dishonorable discharge like I'm sure some of you have heard around here. But it was by mutual consent on the account of our differing opinions, or that's how the captain put it. Differing opinions. The Army, they had their opinion, and I had mine. We was equals, but we went our separate ways. Now me, I spent a few nights sleeping rough, I admit. Funny. I was robbed. I was robbed by someone I was well, you know well. No, it was a woman. I was robbed by a woman. And then I met Dutch. Now, unlike some of you vagrants and vagabonds and orphans and murderers, I've seen what Uncle Sam can do up close. Nothing will make you believe in a man like Dutch more than seeing what power can do to a captain in the U.S. Army. I mean, it corrupts a man. It corrupts a man totally. But I believe in Dutch. I know. Dutch is Dutch. But I believe in him where he talks, I walks. And that's the way it's gonna be. And it was a woman. I see you chuckling. You know something, gentlemen? We're gonna be okay. We are gonna be fine. I mean, sure, I know things don't seem fine right now, but I've got a feeling that they are going to be fine. There's nothing to worry about. I mean, believe in old Bill here, because old Bill believes in Dutch. You know, it's how a fella responds in a moment of crisis to show you who he really is. And I know as sure as the sun rises in the one place and then goes and sets in the other, that Dutch will get us out of this mess. Now, sure, we might run into another 5 messes down the road. Shit, we might run into a whole series of messes, but we will get to the promised land, and we will be free. And for those of you who doubts it, you'll be the ones who won't make it. You can trust me on that. It's trust. North to south trust. That's all I'm saying.
Hi.
Nobody can say you ain't loyal, Bill.
Without that, what is there?
I'm with you.
You know, when I was in the Army, fellas would spend all night talking about what they were gonna do the second they left the Army. Oh, all kinds of things, like, oh, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna be a cook, or, well, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna find me a wife. Hell, someone's like, I'm gonna go and dance with the finest whore in San Francisco. You know, some shit like that. You know how fellas is. Oh, well, no offense. But you know what every one of them did the second they left the Army? Join the goddamn Army again. Jesus Christ. I mean, here is a group of fellas that spent every waking minute just dreaming of leaving. And then they left, and then they jumped back in again. Stupid. You know what? That taught me something. And it taught me something I will never forget. And that's that most fellas are sheep. That's right. And if you can tell the difference between a sheep and a sheep and a man, then that makes you a better man than me, sir. And that's all I'm saying. Mark my words, all of you, mark my words. Stupid Army. Sheep.
You boys really are pathetic.
And what are you?
I'm a goddamn man.
Oh, is that so?
Well, compared to you lot.
Here we are, on the run, being chased east, across this whole goddamn country. And you boys isn't even making any real moves. No wonder old Dutchie's so goddamn tired. He's got to think for all of you.
Shut up, Micah.
No, I will not shut up!
I'm trying to help. Shutting up will lead to us all being killed.
We ain't being killed. We've been in worse scrapes than this.
Me too. But moving around with this many of us, it's trouble.
There used to be more.
You're just worried. Worried because you're the one person in this whole goddamn bunch who does nothing but profit from everyone else's work.
That ain't true.
You're the first person I'd kill.
Well, the feeling is mutual.
He just don't like the truth. He's afraid. He's afraid because he's a goddamn parasite. He ain't never off grafting, nor hunting, nor killing like the rest of us. Oh, sure, he's family. He was my uncle, I'd throttle him. He ain't no one's uncle.